Hey, muy buenas noches, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well, blessed, and enjoying family. And as always, muchísimas gracias to everyone for you guys' words, prayers, and for all you express and send my way. De corazón se los agradezco. Thank you. Now, to get into the story on hand today, I wanted to give you a little insight on a current story that recently happened here in Culiacan, right? Out towards the side of 21 de Marzo, for those that know Culiacan. Basically, they took out another YouTuber, per se. But as you guys know, I don't like to touch on something I personally don't have knowledge of. Also, as you guys know, I'm here in Culiacan, right? So, anyways, please allow me to put a little backstory, right, to this individual as as others, right, without having to go into marcas or you guys know. Well, first and foremost, let me take you back a few years back, right, on how there was a certain crew, right, that was per se running around with an individual that had a lot of power out here, but he was just one of them bullies, right? Cause he did a lot of things outside of the calzone or underwear. Then in reality, it used to be looked at as he was doing it behind the scenes from his bosses, who were the miners, right? But now everything that's coming out to float with this current war that's going on here, it seems that they were aware, right, that this fool was charging piso, storage, kidnapping from feria, all those things that for a long time people were literally getting taken care of out here, right? Because it was at least one of the things that different here to other spots. And, shameful as it is, it's starting to become that here too, right? Or it is that already. And the reason why I bring this up, because I seen a comment on somebody about the last video I put out about the ardillas arellanos, right? And he stated that, Sinaloa is the same. Which, keeping it a buck is, he's right, The way things are unfolding nowadays is it's exactly that. But at the same token, they put out this narrative of individuals being this palomita blancas, right? When in reality, like I said years back, they were the Mamacayaya, right, of Elini, which at this time was Marquitos Toys, his brother, Casper, El Gordo, excuse me, and a few others that have not came out to the light. But they know who they are, and they know, well, they're smarter than to stay in Culiacan. I'll just leave it like that, right? For the reason that El Flaquito is actually taking proper steps of those that made their feria on the basics of doing shady stuff with this individual, right? And Nini, and of course, lifting up his little YouTube career per se, right? But it's all a front. You see, all these individuals at one time they started a little revolution here in Culiacan, which was supposedly they would sell hats. For a minute, with the leaning, it became real famous. A bunch of his little goons, right, that were there with them. They started opening these little shops of hats, just hats, right, all different types. As this individual, Gasper, and a few others, they have, and it's a way to support a certain faction when it comes to the flow, right? But again, they're real known here. It ain't like it was a shock, right? It was more of a shock to a lot of us here, and I include myself because it's discussions that we had amongst family when Flaco was going to start doing this, because they were out in the open with it, right? It wasn't no secret. And again, it has to do a lot where they get thrown out, right? It's a statement. As El Gordo, Peruci, he was making statements, basically challenging people when it came on TV, testing cohetes, you know, uh, firing them in other videos, stating you seen, and he directed it to somebody, not by name, but by wearing a t-shirt that belonged to the other side, right? And, it goes without saying, the gente here knows because they're well seen with certain individuals here, and they're well known for Fanta, right? That's their thing. Fanta, and the little back business is social media and hats. They have a bunch of businesses that sells nothing but hats, and but I do encourage before people speak to actually look into what I'm trying to tell you guys, because I'm pretty sure it's out there. I would surely link some things on here, but you guys know I'm a complete dummy when it comes to this type of things on the internet. The things I tell you because it was spoken at a table, right? Here at my family's home. Like I mentioned before, certain family members from both sides sat here. So, again, no marcas being named. And the only reason I'm speaking on this individual, right? Not because I'm trying to disrespect their memory, their name, whatever, right? My respects to that. But I also feel that the people they took advantage, the people that at once had certain things, and this individual's helping Nini get out from homes and taken out to certain areas, and, to certain fosas, just to take over their things, just to uplift themselves, because they felt in that pedestal of power here, right? And of course, even when families weren't in agreement, the only thing that was in agreement was that when the old man from the image where I saw, he was the one that sat down and tried to store things. But, with certain individuals, they always sat down and CCC, and it was lies, right? As you guys are seeing it in an open field right now. You know, uh, just a word of advice, when you guys see something out towards El Dorado, towards the exit Culiacan, towards El Dorado, to, you know, the area where this will just happen, and it's because of statements being done, said. But not only that, but by the way, it's shameful, and I apologize to even speak about this individual, because the one thing I would never agree with is, people that don't owe it shouldn't pay it. So it's a shame that his wife caught the end of that, right? But you see, what they show you is one thing, But what got put out here in Culiacan is a different thing. You see, when the truth of the things is, one of the first ones that pulled back from Eleni, the first ones, was this individual, El Gordo. And the other ones, they basically, one that recently kept working under that faction. The other one was that careless to go on TV and actually cry for Eleni on live TV, talking about how much he loved them and knowing all the enemies he caused, right? And most importantly, they all know when something's gonna kick off like this. It's not a secret, right? And the people from different families, streetwise, they know. Oh, believe me, the closest ones, they know. But anyways, without speaking on directions, but the word that came down that this individual, this specific individual, was gonna get a pass, right? They were gonna allow him to do his thing, because he picked up a lot of momentum when it came to YouTube. And but then he starts coming on shooting range with close bulletproof vests with the other factions, Insignians, or throws indirects. Then when one faction is in that neighborhood or towards that end of Culiacan, and they're telling everyone you're not to have cameras on the streets because we're currently in this area to further notice. And you make a video stating, I don't know who took him down because he had a grip outside his house, but I don't care. I'm gonna put him back up regardless who likes it or don't, right? What do you guys call that? I mean, you don't poke the bear when it's eating, right? Or when it's mad. It's just common sense, leave it alone and walk away. Which he put the cameras, and this certain thing happened not just in the neighborhood but right outside his house, where he had put up all those cameras. But people seem to forget this is Mexico. So where are the few footage to all them cameras? You know what? That fat side of Culiacan is run by certain law that's under certain people. That's why when things just boop, gone, like I said before, don't allow somebody to come over here and give you a pato aventura on how things are just because they go on the internet and they feel they could get a minute or two of views or cloud. To be sincere, I come on here with this type of issues for a different side of my message, right? Which is, or should I say, the same message I'm pushing, but from a different angle, right? Which is, don't allow nobody to ever mislead you with lies. That's how they disguise people that's meant to hurt and allow them to get in close, right? It is why I even touch on this. Because to be sincere, I hear people say, I put on a video, but it's in yellow. It is why I didn't put it out in then you know why they're here, right? I would love to show you guys the videos since the beginning I've been putting up so you guys can see. Whenever I touch on a subject in Mexico, I know what's going to happen with it, right? But that's not the objective. At the end of the day, okay, people are putting fatty in your pocket, food, rent, whatever, it's coming out, right? At least have the respect to respect them and not run drag on them. And I'll just leave it at that. With this said, as you guys can probably hear me, I'm still, but God is great. I'll just say that. Like I mentioned before, I didn't think I was going to get that medicine. And to be sincere, I was starting to feel like, man, why am I keep trying? Why am I keep pushing, right? It's just the sick mind that's going to be always there. I'm more conscious of it, but it just don't go away, and it ain't going to go away, right? And right when I gave in, when I said, at the end of the day, it's faith, right? I have faith. And yesterday, I went out 3 months from now. If everything goes well from here, then I'm gonna get my head surgeries. Today, as you guys know, I went out. The medicine that they're giving me for the liver is 1,300,000 pesos. In reality, I was supposed to pay it half or a tenth of it. And I went through the struggles. I went through people. They were guiding me. I allowed them to guide me. I wasn't that rebel no more, right? It took a while, but I'm gonna pay pennies when in reality of the price, right? And they gave it to me today. So again, I say this to give an in look, when somebody as myself that's done nothing but harm since childhood, that don't deserve God's love, mercy, but he's beyond that. He's beyond that negative human being or mind that, I'm not going to get into it, as you guys know. I'm trying to be respectful with everybody, but you do know that he's there. And just when I say these things, that's all I want, just that side of him, that his mercy, his love. Sorry I went off, everyone. I just wanted to put this out about el gordo, peruci. He's just one that, I don't want to say it because next thing you know how things ricochet, but it's a bunch of them that have this businesses that, you guys have heard about them, that have them YouTube channels, Instagram, but there's been plenty of more. So, they're not innocent people. Innocent, his wife to some extent, right? But again, my pessimist to that. But for this, I will let you guys go. I plan to go live tomorrow. We'll see the reaction, right? So I will let you know. I send my love. Please stay true to yourself and loyal to your loved ones. Muy buenas noches.